Avengers Doomsday has a problem. It might be a serious problem. Maybe it's not that big of one. I don't know. But in this video, we're going to tackle exactly what this problem is, the issues, and maybe, well, okay, we're going to play devil's advocate here, and we're just going to tackle it from all sides. So let's see why there's a belief that there is a massive problem with Doomsday. So once again, for the sake of this video, I am going to play devil's advocate to both arguments that have been brought up, and you guys will understand where I land with this entire thing. Now, to start, a lot of people have circled back around to what I said literally the day after Robert Downey Jr. was announced as Doctor Doom. It's a desperation move to make people pay attention and show up because they know they need it. I don't want to retread the entire argument here. I'll just have the video linked. You guys can watch it. It's about 10 minutes long, I would say. But I really get into it on why I feel like it is a desperation move, and people are bringing that back up. And to make the long point of the video, I guess, short, but again, the entire reason I believe that, and I think many people believe it there, is because they realized Kang was a misstep. They had to focus on somebody big. They realized, hey, Doctor Doom, but we need to make sure people are familiar with Doctor Doom, hence Robert Downey Jr. Because people complained we killed him off. Well, he's not back as Iron Man, he's Doctor Doom. Now, please watch our film. Again, I get it. I feel that way. That's why I made that video. I know many people do. But there's other problems that people are now bringing up. So first and foremost, let's talk about the lack of original Avengers and this weird cast. This weird cast, which I already broke down in another video talking about the lack of actual Avengers in the Avengers film and how I believe that that's a spoiler. So again, it might be one of the videos that pops up. Check it out if it does. I highly recommend it. But people are starting to take notice that this Avengers film really lacks Avengers. There's actually more X-Men in it than anything, which again is a little weird. So this is another problem. But the biggest one that people have is, people are asking, why are so many legacy characters back? This is a real problem for a lot of people. And they're also saying this at the same time while they're complaining about lack of legacy characters. Like, they're saying, where's Chris Evans in the main cast? Where's Hugh Jackman's Wolverine? Where's Tobey Maguire? Where's Andrew Garfield? Where's Deadpool? Guys, that's all legacy characters and nostalgia. But at the same time, people are then wondering, well, when are we going to get more legacy characters, or are we not going to get some? And that's where the other half of this argument comes in. People saying that legacy characters are here to just artificially inflate the box office. Okay, but if you don't like this, if you're mad about it, right? Then why did you go and repeatedly watch Spider-Man No Way Home? Why did you repeatedly watch Deadpool and Wolverine? And why was Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness almost $1 billion hit? I'll give you a hint. It's because despite complaining about nostalgia, you love nostalgia. And I'm using you as a broad term, as people have proven, right? If Captain America Brave New World somehow included 2 multiverse characters, or even 1, and he was just, I don't know, a bad variant helping the leader, the film would have made easily another couple $100 million because nostalgia. But it didn't. And now people are nostalgic for the things during a better time in their life. You know, you see people today that absolutely hate Star Wars. Everything Star Wars is bad. Star Wars can't do anything good. But they're forgetting that the time they watched Star Wars, they didn't have to pay for rent. They were children. They were just having a good time. Summers were spent outside. And their nostalgia is clouding their view of when they would go outside and just play with their Episode 2 toys or whatever, you know? I remember fondly the summer of Star Wars Episode 1. Playing the video games, running outside. My best friend John would come over. We'd play with the action figures. And that's why that's my favorite Star Wars prequel. It's nostalgia. Nostalgia drives business. But people today seem to not understand that that is a major effect on them, and how they perceive the world is literally based on nostalgia these days. And if things aren't as good as when you felt good when you were 10 or 8 or 12 or whatever your nostalgic fundamental building block is, you get mad. Now, I'm sorry to go on this little tangent because it's important, because it all ties back to nostalgia. It is a major factor. Like it or not, nostalgia sells. And before you say it doesn't, then why do, every time they release new figures, Marvel Legends or Hot Toys or whatever, of nostalgic things, even the Amazing Spider-Man now at this point, because it's a decade removed, you're seeing people with disposable income that are 30, that were 20 when that film came out, or 17 or 18 when the first TASM film came out, they're buying up all the merchandise. Because nostalgia. You can look at the age breakdown brackets and you know exactly what it is, and it's primed to the time that you were between the age of 7 to about 15 now is nostalgia prime. Which is why so many people today, when you look at nostalgia as a factor, The Dark Knight is the greatest thing they've ever seen. Some of these people, Spider-Man 3 is the greatest thing they've ever seen, because it was their first big theatrical experience that they remember. They remember spending the summer with the action figures, and that's what got them in, you know? There's nothing bad with that. I'm not saying that that's bad, guys. That's good. You have fond memories of something, and you're not going to let anything taint it. But pretending like it doesn't affect modern day stuff in a big way, you're lying to yourself. Because watching that stream of the chairs while working, and then I went to the gym and continued to watch the stream while working out, when Ian McKellen's name popped up, I'm not kidding you, every single hair on my body stood up. I felt a wave of electricity hit me. It was like I got struck by lightning in that moment, because it's Ian McKellen as Magneto. Other people feel the same way about other characters. I said it before, my best friend, he loves Nightcrawler. It's his favorite character from those films. Alan Cumming is back as Nightcrawler. Of course he's going to be excited. We were the same age when that film came out, and we just became friends like a couple years before that, you know? Nostalgia sells. And the problem that they have here is that no matter what, people will be disappointed by something. If for some reason Tobey Maguire comes back but no Andrew Garfield, these people will rage. And vice versa. If Andrew Garfield comes back but Tobey Maguire doesn't, nostalgia. It's going to drive people to be angry. It's an emotion that evokes out of you this whole feel of nostalgia that you can't really explain. And the major problem that they have here that nobody wants to admit is that no matter what the cast is, you will never be satisfied. I think people need to realize that. Even Secret Wars, I can tell you right now, people will be disappointed. I've said it before. I know 2 people who hated Avengers Endgame. Why? Because Frank Castle and Ghost Rider didn't show up. I've talked to them. I'm like, what logic does that make? Why would they show up? They're like, I don't care. They needed to show up because I like them. You can't argue and reason with some of these people. They will always be disappointed. So what I'm saying is, take the approach that I've taken with a lot of stuff recently. Sit back, enjoy the ride, and enjoy the final product for what it is, instead of the way we used to do it 10, 12, 15 years ago, where it had to be exactly what you wanted to get satisfied. I think we've all grown as fans to understand that that's no longer how it's done. We all need to grow up, just like these franchises, and accept that sometimes nostalgia moves, and they're not just catering to us anymore. They are catering to everybody. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.